My ex-girlfriend posted a suggestive video. I coldly swiped past without leaving a like. But a moment later, she sent me a private message. You watched my video and didn't even bother to leave a like? I stubbornly replied, I didn't watch it. Stop being so full of yourself. Lu Ruyan sneered and sent a voice message, oh, really? But I set it to only visible to you. The backend shows it was watched over 300 times, with a 100% completion rate. Holy crap! That Friday night, I was lying on my dorm bed scrolling through short videos. I have to say, big data really knows me. Once midnight strikes, it's either ghosts, long legs, or all kinds of sexy female bodhisattvas. It made people feel anxious and panicked. Just as I was scrolling with great excitement, the platform suddenly pushed a local video to me. The beauty in the video was taking a photo facing the mirror. Her phone blocked her face, making it a bit hard to see her features clearly. However, she was wearing shiny black stockings. She had probably just finished bathing, as her hair was still slightly wet. I watched with wide eyes as a stray droplet of water slid into her deep cleavage. Gulp, my eyes lit up instantly, and the visual impact was maxed out. Wiping my drool, I was about to follow this female bodhisattva immediately. But when I looked at her username, I was completely dumbfounded. There was a bizarre sense of mismatch, like seeing Lin Dayu riding a modified motorcycle. Damn, how on earth could it be my jinx of an ex-girlfriend, Lu Ruyan? She used to hate it the most when I watched suggestive content, yet now she is doing it herself. What a double standard. I instinctively wanted to report her for exposing herself and being indecent, but my hand froze in a bizarre hesitation. Well, beautiful girls are common, and girls with great bodies in black stockings are also common. But a girl as gorgeous as my ex-girlfriend, with such a perfect figure, is truly hard to find. At the beginning, I was also accidentally mesmerized by Lu Ruyan to the point of losing my mind. I started cautiously pursuing her, then boldly confessed my love. Unexpectedly, Lu Ruyan agreed not long after. Since then, we embarked on a path of sweet love so shameless. Sweet indeed, truly incredibly sweet. The hotel outside the university town even specially issued a premium membership card for the two of us. It's just that our personalities were stubborn, each worse than the other. She was arrogant, cold-faced, with a sharp tongue, while I was brainless, heartless, and stubborn as a donkey. We would always argue over the slightest disagreement. Although in the end, we always made up in bed, over time, it still hurt our relationship. Last week, we argued again over a trivial matter, and I directly proposed a breakup. She tightened her face, stared at me for a moment, then turned around and left. I acted cool and didn't try to hold her back. But less than 3 minutes after the breakup, the person involved, me, felt deep regret. I regretted it immensely, but didn't dare to find her, only able to weep silently. Now, seeing her selfie, I am drooling with craving. I couldn't help but look at it over and over again, until my phone became hot to the touch. To avoid being caught peeping by her, I deliberately didn't leave a like. Showing ultimate pride, yet walking on thin ice. However, just as I was about to watch it again, WeChat suddenly received a message from Lu Ruyan. Finished watching my video and still don't know how to leave a like? I sat up from the bed with a jolt, utterly terrified. Holy crap, how did she know I watched it? Panicked as I was, I still talked tough, didn't watch, stop being narcissistic. What level are you? Worthy of my view? Lu Ruyan replied unhurriedly, really? But I set this video to be visible only to you. In other words, except for you, nobody else can see it. And it's really strange. The backend data shows it was actually watched over 300 times, with a completion rate of 100%. Gee Boda, why do you think that is? Holding my phone, my face turned red then green, green then red. I felt my toes immediately starting construction, quickly digging out a luxury villa of Thompson Riviera. What a miscalculation, I was actually set up by this wicked woman. But gee Boda, a man like a soaring eagle, how could I easily admit defeat? A man may die, but his mouth remains stiff. I replied, alright, I indeed watched it. Mainly because watching your videos can earn coins. I watched them a few times and just happened to exchange them for 3 yuan. Next time, post a longer one so I can earn a bit more. Lu Ruyan sent a death question mark over. Even through the screen, I could imagine her sneering at me right now, gritting her teeth in anger. Gee Boda, am I fucking only worth 3 yuan to you? Look, she is anxious, she is getting anxious now. I immediately turned the tables on her. What do you think? But don't be sad, with a little more effort, it'll be enough to exchange for a few yuan, then I can buy a cup of lemonade from Shua Wang. Lu Ruyan was probably furious and stopped responding to me. I triumphantly went to watch her suggestive videos another 200 times. Sigh, I miss that touch and warmth, and I miss her so much too. Actually, I naturally understood Lu Ruyan's intention behind setting it to only visible to me. I am not that stupid, she is just looking for a way out to get back together. So I didn't give her the cold shoulder either. The next day after class, I went straight to the badminton court to find her, preparing to give her an out as well. I just hope she knows what's good for her. As expected, Lu Ruyan was playing ball with her friends at this hour. I found an empty seat and watched her lazily. I watched her precise smash, watched her wipe her sweat with a towel, and watched her walk towards the sideline. Then, she accepted a bottle of water from a guy. Perhaps because the court was a bit noisy, they leaned in close when talking. From my angle, they looked quite intimate. A handsome boy and a beautiful girl, what a picturesque scene. With a loud pop, I squeezed and burst the lemonade in my hand, startling a passerby next to me. I politely apologized, then turned to throw the broken bottle into the trash can and left without looking back. When a dog cries, people know, but when a person cries, who knows? This time, my heartbreak is truly only visible to myself. Enduring the pain, I blocked all of Lu Ruyan's contact methods, including Douyin and Alipay. However, I still secretly saved that suggestive video that I had watched countless times. I plan to keep it as spiritual food to ease my mind when I am feeling lonely and emo in the dead of night. With a sniff, I wiped away my tears, preparing to force myself to sleep and stop thinking about that wicked woman. But I was so overwhelmed with melancholy that sleep was completely out of the question. Closing my eyes, my mind was still filled with poetry. Is this just how we intellectuals are? 10 years of life and death are both misty, Shi Yang Yan and Hui Tai Lang. While my mind was wandering, a strange phone call suddenly came in. Noticing that my roommates hadn't slept yet, I finally picked up. Ji Ge, come quickly and comfort Lu Ruyan. Shu Ting, Lu Ruyan's roommate, instantly shrieked through the line, her voice already hoarse. I replied, what does that have to do with me? Call me when she is dead. I'm hanging up. Don't, please don't. She's drunk, and now she's hugging a lamppost downstairs of the girls' dormitory, crying like a dog. They said you don't want her anymore, and she absolutely refuses to go back to the dorm. It's getting cold and windy now, Brother G, why don't you come and persuade her? Otherwise, it's going to be really embarrassing. After all, she is the face of RB University. I rolled over and said, not going. Let her find some other young boys to comfort her, it has nothing to do with me. Shu Ting wanted to explain something, but the phone was probably snatched away. Lu Ruyan's voice came through the receiver, probably having drunk a bit too much, her voice raspy and slurred, Ji Boda, I want to hug you. I said sarcastically, let that guy who gave you water today hug you instead. I really want to kiss you. I snapped back again, let that guy who gave you water today kiss you instead. Muttering under my breath, if he's not there, just slap your own mouth with a shoe to satisfy your craving. The other side went silent for a moment, probably realizing something, so you actually came to find me? Then why didn't you come to give me water? I've been waiting for you. And you blocked me, do you really not want me anymore? To be honest, when Lu Ruyan spoke to me with such a pitiful expression, it gave me the illusion that she was acting cute. It made it hard not to soften up, and I was no exception. Didn't you want to come and bring me water again today? Back when I was playing ball, I saw everything. Back when you were playing ball? After thinking for a moment, the culprit seriously replied, since you stopped bringing me water this week, my friends, and I had to pool our money to buy a case of water. That guy was asked by Su Tingting to watch the water, otherwise thieves would always steal it. Su Tingting, standing nearby, chimed in at the top of her lungs, "That's right, Brother G. Du Zitang is my godbrother, don't misunderstand." Although Lu Ruyan could be annoying, she disdained teaming up with her roommate to lie to me. I rubbed my nose sheepishly, realizing that I had probably gotten it all wrong. Alright, go back to the dorm early. Don't go crazy in the middle of the night. Then can I be taken out of the blacklist now? Barely. Then can we make up? I'll have to think about that. Despite saying that, the smile on the corner of my mouth could not be suppressed at all. She had already humbled herself to this extent. I didn't want to be angry anymore. I just thought about the issues between us and wanted to make things clear, otherwise, we would just end up in another Cold War and break up in a few days. This tiring, endless cycle would only exhaust our hearts, and eventually, we would go our separate ways. One fearing I might hurt her self-esteem, I spoke a bit tactfully, "It mostly depends on your performance, you understand, right?" Hearing this, her breathing suddenly paused for a moment. "Okay, then go downstairs now." "I'll be right down." One, go downstairs for what?" I asked, confused. She replied, "To stay up late together. I'll show you my best performance." One, oh gosh, that is definitely not the kind of performance I was talking about. My face turned red, but in the end, I still walked downstairs. One, there was nothing else I could do. After all, I am a generous person. Besides, I was just worried that Lu Ruyan would feel unwell after drinking too much, so I went down to take care of her. Just take it as doing a good deed. I told them there was no need to leave the door unlocked for me tonight, which quickly drew a round of teasing glances from the others. One of them laughed and said, "I knew you and Lu Ruyan would make up in less than a week." Seriously, when will it be my turn to have this kind of sweet love, /n/n? I curled my lips into a smile and replied softly, "It might not actually be a reconciliation, /n/n." Hearing this, someone seemed to think of something and hesitantly told me, "Gee Boda, lately I've often seen a younger student next to Lu Ruyan. He looks quite handsome, and he actually resembles you a bit, /n/n." I nodded, knowing she was referring to that guy named Du Zitang. Lu Ruyan had always maintained a proper distance from other guys without crossing any lines, so I didn't pay it much mind. /n/n. Seeing my reaction, the friend didn't say anything more and quietly packed up her things. I rushed downstairs and found Lu Ruyan already there, standing lazily. Seeing me, her eyes lit up, and she immediately came over wanting to give me a hug. I quickly pinched her cheek with 2 fingers and said seriously, "Stand still." "What are you doing?" "I am a decent man." Lu Ruyan said with dissatisfaction, "Why won't you let me hug you? We haven't reconciled yet, so what does it mean if you hug me?" She sneered and said, "Fine, very backbone of you. Since you don't want me to hug you, could you please stop touching my thigh?" "Ha, my bad, I got used to touching it." "Don't worry, before we reconcile, I will definitely not play any rogue tricks. I came today just because I was afraid you would get drunk in the middle of the night and choke to death, so I came to take care of you. You should be silently happy that I am so kind." I hastily withdrew my mischievous hand, cursed silently in my heart. What a sin, seeing her is just a conditioned reflex, I can't help but want to touch. Really? I don't believe it. Believe it or not, it's up to you, let's go quickly. I scratched my head and turned to walk ahead, not seeing the complacent smile appearing on Lu Ruyan's lips, as if she was plotting something against me. After that, on the way to the hotel, Lu Ruyan behaved very properly today, so properly that she seemed a bit cold. Usually, when we booked a room together, the atmosphere was so ambiguous that even waving a pregnancy test would show 2 lines. So her attitude today made me feel a bit uncomfortable. But since the words were already out, I endured it. After getting the room, I lowered my head to rummage through my bag while seriously reminding her, "Go take a shower to get rid of the alcohol smell. Don't wash for too long, or your head will ache to death." "Got it," Lu Ruyan replied. Immediately after, a rustling sound came. Suspicious, I looked up, and my nosebleed almost sprayed out on the spot. Because this bad woman was stripping right in front of me, in high definition and uncensored, which was highly shocking to the eyes. I swallowed hard with a gulp and asked in a panic, "What are you doing?" She casually replied, "Taking off my clothes to shower. Want to shower together?" Get lost, stop being a rogue. If you don't shower, I'm leaving. Seeing that I was annoyed, Lu Ruyan finally turned around and went into the bathroom. Damn it, I couldn't help but complain that the hotel's layout nowadays is a bit shameless. The bathroom was made of frosted glass. As soon as Lu Ruyan walked in, that hazy, "now you see it now you don't" feeling was even more teasing than a high-definition and censored video, making it impossible for me to look away. With her curvy figure and long legs, she simply ran her fingers through her hair, and I suddenly felt a wave of heat in my nose. Dazedly touching it, my hand was covered in blood. When Lu Ruyan came out wrapped in a bath towel, the nosebleed I had just managed to stop almost squirted out again. I said tremulously, "Put some clothes on, don't be so seductive." She glanced at me, "What's wrong? I usually sleep like this, don't you already know that?" I certainly knew, and I absolutely loved it. Usually, the moment I saw her like this, I would want to pounce on her, but now I had to restrain myself. I painfully averted my gaze. "Forget it, let's just sleep like this. Just do whatever makes you comfortable. Time to sleep. Remember to turn off the lights. Call me if you feel unwell during the night, otherwise, just pretend I'm dead." After saying that, I pulled the blanket over my face, not wanting her to see my extremely lustful expression. Lu Ruyan didn't say much and directly turned off the lights. Then, the mattress next to me sank down a bit. Instinctively, I wanted to hold her and sleep just like those previous nights, but I forced myself to suppress this urge. "Oomph, we haven't made up yet, so let's see if I'll say a word." Lu Ruyan didn't make a sound either. However, the residual smell of alcohol mixed with the scent of hotel body wash on her body kept assaulting my nose, teasing me so much that I couldn't sleep at all. Instead, my mind was filled with unhealthy thoughts. Let me declare once again, my dirty mind has nothing to do with my actual self. I respect my brain's thoughts and choices, and I am still that pure man who treats lust as dirt. So, in a moment, I will quietly touch her a bit to satisfy my craving. She probably won't mind. Once Lu Ruyan's breathing stabilized and she seemed to have fallen asleep, I reached my hand over. First, I gave her a poke. "Lu Ruyan, are you asleep?" There was no response. I touched her again, increasing the intensity. "Lu Ruyan." She still didn't answer, but instead let out a soft snore. Since when did she develop this bad habit of snoring? But right now, I couldn't care less about thinking. Realizing she was sound asleep, I became bold. This feeling of reunion after a long separation really makes one lose their mind. Hee, big sister's legs really feel good to touch. After touching, I couldn't resist leaning in to kiss her, but her head was tilted, making it hard for me to find a good angle to kiss. I wanted to brush her hair aside, but feared waking her up. Just as I was about to give up, Lu Ruyan mumbled and nudged her head, revealing her face. This was truly a godsend. I instantly seized the opportunity to give her a quick kiss, then couldn't resist kissing her again, before quietly pulling her into my arms and closing my eyes. In my heart, I secretly decided to wake up 5 minutes earlier than Lu Ruyan tomorrow morning, so she wouldn't find out. As I was happily planning this, I faintly heard a soft chuckle in my drowsy state. Then, my face was kissed twice, and I was held even tighter. The next day, I was woken up by a phone call. Irritated, I twitched my eyelids, turned around, and buried myself in the arms of the person beside me, trying to block out the noise with my big white rabbits, so annoying. Just then, someone picked up my phone, their voice carrying the raspy tone of someone who hadn't fully woken up yet. "No buying houses, no buying cars, no data packages, no tutoring. Call with another ad, and I'll scatter your ashes." The room fell silent again, and I happily prepared to sleep a bit more. But the next second, I suddenly realized something. Wait, who is the person beside me? I snapped my eyes open, filled with sheer terror. I saw myself clinging tightly to my ex-girlfriend, with my leg intimately draped over her waist. Talk about being absolutely shameless. I stiffly lifted my neck, only to find Lu Ruyan staring at me with a half-smile. Gee Boda, what is going on here? I quickly pulled away from her and retorted righteously. It was just a hug, don't overthink it. Is that so? Lu Ruyan yawned lazily. By the way, why are my lips a bit swollen? You secretly kissed me last night, didn't you? You were stung by a mosquito. Lu Ruyan's gaze fell upon my lips, and she asked, then are your lips bitten by a mosquito too? Sorry, I'm just suffering from internal heat. Didn't you see how much nosebleed I had last night? Stubbornly denying it and afraid she would ask more, I quickly scrambled out of bed, putting on my clothes while saying, I have an early class, I'm leaving first. Lu Ruyan called me back, her mood a bit down. Gee Boda, when you talked about making up yesterday, were you serious? I was serious. Lu Ruyan stared straight at me, her eyes filled with distrust and sadness. It felt as if I couldn't give her a proper explanation right now, I would lose her forever, making me feel both guilty and heartbroken. After battling with my inner self for a long time, I still chose to tell the truth. Lu Ruyan, I didn't want to break up with you either. But after thinking it over, it's better if I lay everything out clearly, otherwise, it would be unfair to you. Actually, your mother came to see me, just the day before we broke up. As soon as I said this, Lu Ruyan's face froze. The reason why Lu Ruyan and I broke up, besides those trivial matters, was mainly because her mother found me last week. I always knew her family was well off, but I never expected them to be that wealthy. Looking at the 66 yuan free shipping t-shirt on my body, and then at the 660,000 yuan purple jade bracelet on her mother's wrist, I realized clearly for the first time that Lu Ruyan and I belonged to two different worlds. During that conversation, her mother's attitude was actually very gentle, saying she just wanted to see what kind of boyfriend Lu Ruyan had found. But every word she said was telling me a realistic truth, I couldn't provide her with any help. Love cannot put food on the table, but money can. Moreover, after graduation, Lu Ruyan would immediately get engaged to an outstanding guy from an equal social standing. That immense sense of gap really made me feel suffocated. Life has its ups and downs, and beasts of burden like me only exist to embellish life. I am the future successor of the working class grind, while she is destined to be the successor of a wealthy family. I turned around intending to have a good talk with Lu Ruyan, only to find her playing badminton. Vibrant and unbridled, she was indeed not a match for me at all. This was also why when she and I fell in love, everyone couldn't understand the reason. They all thought she didn't really like me, but was just attracted to my handsome looks and goofy personality, finding it fun just to play around. Even I thought so too. After all, Lu Ruyan never seemed to say why she liked me. In the beginning, I only pursued her for 2 days before she agreed. Once we were together, whenever we met, it was all about hugging, cuddling, lifting me up, or going to check into a hotel. In short, she was just lusting after my body, and it wasn't true love at all. Terribly panicked, I kept pretending to know nothing, maintaining a superficial calm on the surface. Until Lu Ruyan's mother arrived and gave me a heavy slap in the face. It completely woke me up, shattered my self-esteem, and made me realize that Lu Ruyan might really just be playing with me. If our ending is destined to be embarrassing, it's better to end it early. So I used a trivial matter as an excuse to break up, feeling both pained and helpless. After Lu Ruyan found out that her mother had come to see me, she went home with a cold face that very day. I was terrified. With her going back to confront her like this, would her mother think I was instigating conflict between them? The future mother-in-law relationship was ruined before it even started. Thinking of this, I panicked even more. I quickly pulled Lu Ruyan out of the blacklist, wanting to advise her to speak nicely with her mother. She said okay, but I still couldn't eat or sleep in peace. Until the third day, to welcome the new club members, the president of the astronomy club specially organized an outdoor camping trip. I had to go for the course credits. Lu Ruyan was also one of the members, but she probably wouldn't show up today. Ah, it looks like her. Boarding the bus with a heavy heart, I was surprised to find a very familiar figure sitting in the back row. Perhaps sensing my shocked gaze, Lu Ruyan slowly raised her eyelids to look at me. She looked lazy and charming, just like a vixen. I quickly went over to sit next to her, eagerly asking in a low voice, "Why are you here? I thought you weren't coming today." She glanced at me and replied, Didn't you want me to perform well? If I don't stay by your side more, how can I show it? I paused for a moment and explained. I meant your trip back home this time. Lu Ruyan toyed with my hand resting on my lap, giggling as she asked. What are you so nervous about? I just went back to tell my mom about the two of us, and cleared up her misunderstanding while I was at it. Curious, I asked. What misunderstanding? Lu Ruyan explained in a low voice. You've always been able to feel that the relationship between my mother and me isn't quite right, haven't you? I nodded slightly. Yeah, that's true. Usually, Lu Ruyan and her mother would call and video chat, but they would only say a few cold words before hanging up. It was completely different from me and my parents. Although we all left early and returned late, we could still chat about everything, from global affairs to school gossip. Enjoying it without getting tired. Lu Ruyan repeatedly expressed her admiration for my family's warm atmosphere. She sighed, actually, my mother is also very pitiful. She and my father married through a political alliance. My father, a scumbag, was always cheating when I was a child. Just the secretaries he cheated with could form a reinforced company. That's why my mother always hopes I can find someone of equal social standing who treats me well. People from ordinary families will inevitably feel a bit self-conscious. This time when I went back, she and I had a serious talk, so she would understand you are not that kind of person. Otherwise, I would have thrown away that 66 yuan hanfu dress of yours long ago. These words from Lu Ruyan made my heart feel a bit complicated and uneasy. She fell ill again recently and couldn't make it. So she asked me to convey her apologies to you, please don't blame her. I nodded slightly, of course not. It's clear that Mother Lu is also a pitiful person, there was nothing she could do after encountering a scumbag. I let out a sigh. Lu Ruyan gently raised her hand to touch my face, saying seriously. So, Ji Boda, can we make up now? I hurriedly nodded my head repeatedly. Of course we can, Lu Ruyan. I don't want to break up with you at all, I like you the most. Lu Ruyan flashed a satisfied smile. That's great then. She leaned in close, about to kiss me. I also leaned down slightly. But in the very next second, a male voice suddenly came from above. Senior, I'm feeling a bit carsick. Could I switch seats with you? I turned my head and noticed the water delivery guy standing right next to our seats. What was his name again? Oh, Du Zitong. He certainly had hidden motives. It turned out he was also one of the new members this time. Before I could make a move, Lu Ruyan beside me spoke up first. Annoyed at having her kiss interrupted, she asked with a blank expression, motion sickness? The water delivery guy clutched his forehead with his hand, nodding pitifully, yes, senior. I feel dizzy and nauseous, it's so uncomfortable. That's why I wanted to switch seats with senior. I wonder if he would agree. I sneered inwardly. Agree? In his dreams. It was the first time I'd ever heard of someone with motion sickness choosing the back row instead of the front. His scheming was so obvious it practically slapped me in the face. Lu Ruyan lifted her eyelids, glanced at him, and said, I'll agree on his behalf. Go ahead and sit. I was instantly dumbfounded, staring at Lu Ruyan in disbelief. Damn it, exchanging seats? Just a moment ago, she was begging for reconciliation and trying to kiss me, and now she treats me like this for some green tea guy? The water delivery guy also didn't expect Lu Ruyan to agree so readily. For a moment, he could barely hide the joy on his face as he said excitedly, Thank you, senior. Lu Ruyan nodded, then stood up. And then, she suddenly pulled me up while I was still fuming. I was even more confused. Within my bewildered gaze, Lu Ruyan slowly said, Then you can just sit here by yourself. When Lu Ruyan led me to find another seat, I was still a bit dazed. I turned my head to look at Song Shuidi, who stood there frozen with a distorted expression. She stood there, unable to sit or stand comfortably. The surrounding classmates, who had heard the whole thing, cast gleeful, drama-watching looks at her. TSK, Lu Ruyan's green tea acting skills have really improved. She even learned how to slap someone's face without using dirty words. Feeling extremely refreshed, I muttered, "How pitiful." "How is she pitiful? Do you actually want me to sit with someone else?" Lu Ruyan cast a cool glance at me. I giggled and denied, "Of course not, I was just curious if you and she are close." Lu Ruyan replied casually, "Just acquaintances. I mentioned it to you 2 days ago, she is Shu Tingting's sworn younger brother, I don't care about the rest. Shu Ting seems to like her, it seems so. That's why last time she asked her to help us look at the room, which ended up with you catching them. As for me, I have made it clear, I haven't even added her on WeChat yet." These words from Lu Ruyan made me sigh a small sigh of relief. Perhaps my tense and cowering appearance was just too obvious. Lu Ruyan raised her eyebrows, as if realizing something. She directly used her finger to lift my chin, forcing me to look at her. "Gee Boda, when you proposed to break up before, was there any other reason besides my mother?" I blinked, not knowing how to explain. I felt that if I confessed my suspicion that she only wanted to sleep with me, she might slap me right on the spot. Seeing me remain silent, Lu Ruyan's face turned a bit colder. Her hand lifting my chin changed to pinching my cheek, her tone showing no fluctuation. "As expected, there is indeed another reason. In short, if there's any problem, just tell me and I will solve it, as long as you don't break up with me." She talked. Her gaze was not fake, it carried a tangible sincerity, frank and clear. I was stunned for a moment, immediately realizing an unbelievable truth. Lu Ruyan seemed to truly like me, not just wanting to toy with me. I couldn't help but ask her directly, "Then why do you always want to book a room with me?" "I see other girls dating in a very pure way." Lu Ruyan raised her eyebrows and said, "I don't care how others are, because they are not like us. If you want it pure, I can do that too. It's just that I like you, so of course I feel impulses toward you. After all, sooner or later we will get married and live in our own two-person world, so doing it beforehand now." "Wait," she stopped halfway, suddenly squinting her eyes dangerously at me. "Gee Boda, by saying this, you didn't always think I just wanted to do bad things with you and didn't actually like you, did you?" My scalp instantly went numb. Everyone, sometimes having a girlfriend who is too smart is really not a good thing. Because with just a few of your words, he could quickly deduce the entire cause and effect, then lecture you in a terrifying manner. That gaze of his was so cold that not a single blade of grass could grow within a 3-kilometer radius. I stammered, not knowing how to explain myself, and could only quickly play dumb to beg for forgiveness. My mistake, I misunderstood." Mindful of the crowd on the bus, Lu Ruyan didn't punish me further, but said seriously, "Anyway, no matter the reason, it's my fault for making you feel insecure. From now on, I will give you a full sense of security." My heart instantly swelled with warmth, all my gloom and fear vanished, replaced by overflowing bubbles of happiness popping one after another. Perhaps fearing that I still lacked security, Lu Ruyan clung to me constantly after we arrived at the campsite. Everyone, familiar or not, naturally understood that we had gotten back together and teased us one after another. Only Du Ziting secretly rolled his eyes at me. Xiaoyan's calculated, resentful smile seemed as if she was afraid others wouldn't know what she was thinking. I was too lazy to think further and instead seriously pondered one question: how should we sleep tonight? We have already reconciled and opened our hearts to each other. If I don't sleep in the same tent with her tonight, she will definitely worry. But if I sleep directly with her, I'm afraid my waist will hurt so much tomorrow that I won't even be able to get up. Reason and impulse in my brain almost fought for half the day, but in the end, I still decided to sleep in the same tent with her. So what? I am indeed a big lecher. When your girlfriend is so seductive with a big bust, curvy hips, and long legs, and she even says she likes you and doesn't want to break up, could you control yourself? Personally, I certainly can't. Therefore, this is just a normal human desire. Plus, since she said she wants to marry me in the future, of course I won't reject her. I am simply a super lecherous guy after all. After quickly and successfully brainwashing myself, I hugged the blanket distributed by the club, turned around, and wanted to help Lu Ruyan pitch her tent. Who would have thought that I would spot Song Shuidi and Du Ziting approaching her side out of nowhere? I paused my steps for a moment, deciding not to go over there to watch the drama unfold. At this moment, Song Shuidi spoke up. Senior, I don't know how to pitch a tent. Can you help me out a bit? Lu Ruyan didn't even bother to look at her, her tone carrying a hint of mockery. Are you illiterate? Song Shuidi answered softly. I can read. If you can read, how can you not understand the user manual? Song Shuidi's smile stiffened for a moment, and then she pleaded pitifully. Senior, I understand those steps. It's just that I can't prop up the tent by myself. Only then did Lu Ruyan react. She raised her head to look at Song Shuidi, sweeping her gaze from top to bottom before uttering some shocking words. Then go exercise. Keep it up, and strive to share a tent with a husky soon. Right now, Lu Ruyan seemed to have broken some sort of venomous snake seal. She was incredibly sharp-tongued, not sparing anyone's feelings at all. Look at that, Du Ziting's face is slightly contorted. He smiles awkwardly. Senior, you really have a funny way of talking. Lu Ruyan casually asks back, there's something even more interesting, do you want to hear it? He nods eagerly, yes, I do. Oh, actually no. Lu Ruyan says coldly, before, you were a friend of my roommate, so I showed you some respect. From now on, I won't be so polite anymore. Du Ziting laughs dryly twice, stammers a few more words, and hastily makes an excuse to leave. But right before leaving, he spots me and glares at me viciously. I decisively flip him the middle finger in return. As if I would ever tolerate your attitude. Watching his retreating figure walk toward the small woods, I cold snort and quietly follow him. Although Song Shuidi is no anyone important, he is always buzzing around Lu Ruyan like a fly. I have to clean him up. Messing with me means he has kicked a steel plate. By the time I return from my walk, Lu Ruyan has already set up the tent. I naturally toss my bag inside. She glances at me, her eyes darkening with meaning. Suddenly, I feel like this tent should have been set up somewhere with fewer people. My old face blushes. Damn, how shameless, but I like it. A bit later, all club members gather around for a group meal. Lu Ruyan doesn't eat much, but instead keeps staring at me with burning eyes. Intuition tells me that she wants to kiss me right now. But because there are too many people around, she can only hold back. In this round, the unlucky one is Lu Ruyan. Choosing truth, Du Ziting immediately spoke up. Senior sister, tell us 3 shortcomings of your boyfriend, the real kind of shortcomings, okay? As she spoke, the malice in her eyes was glaringly obvious. Lu Ruyan didn't think much and spoke directly. Who says there isn't? Sleeping and kicking people, stealing my blanket, that's enough, 3 things. One she said this with a gentle and lazy expression, not looking like she was complaining about her boyfriend's flaws at all. On the contrary, she seemed to be proudly telling everyone, we have a great relationship, we sleep together, and we are doing great. One this made even my thick-skinned face feel a bit embarrassed. One then I leaned in close, making her unable to resist giving me a kiss right in front of everyone. This action immediately caused the other classmates to burst into cheers. One only Guzay couldn't bring himself to smile. Perhaps he was still thinking of ways to provoke us. One but in the next round, the unlucky one turned out to be him. Guzay smiled awkwardly and said, I also choose truth. One I smiled slightly and asked him directly, Guzay, what were you and the girl next to you doing in the woods just now? One as soon as these words were spoken, the expressions of several people on the field instantly changed. One Guzay replied awkwardly, nothing. I was just helping senior sister Yao Biyun gather some firewood. Don't we have a campfire activity tonight anyway? 1 inch, is that so? Then why did I see the 2 of you kissing in there? 1 inch Junior, don't talk nonsense. Guzay repeatedly denied it. One then, he immediately turned his head to look at the club president, whose face was looking quite grim. President, rest assured, I really just went with senior sister Yao Biyun to gather firewood. Senior G Boda, he fabricated rumors about me just because senior Lu Ruyan and I know each other. Bai Yendao also quickly denied it. Babe, I believe you. There is nothing between you and the junior. The club president didn't make a scene either. Although he usually likes to use official jargon, he is at least a top student. He directly asked me, "G Boda, do you have any evidence?" Coincidentally, I was taking a selfie at that time and happened to capture it. I have already sent it to the club group chat, see for yourselves. Immediately, the game ended, and a dramatic dog blood battle began. As Lu Ruyan pulled me up to go back to the tent to sleep, sounds of arguing, angry scolding, and begging for mercy were already coming from behind. TSK, Junior Du Ziting must be getting his hair pulled and being educated right now, right? That's right, ever since we got on the bus, I noticed that Du Ziting guy always liked to flirt with this girl, then go complain to that senior. The guys knew exactly what he was up to, while the girls were deceived by his appearance, thinking they actually had some charm. In short, whoever he tried to hit on, it wouldn't end well. Presumptuous in front of me and Lu Ruyan, and I won't easily let him off. When I crawled out of the tent the next day with a sore waist and back, someone told me that the club president had kicked Du Ziting and his girlfriend out overnight. As for their club credits, they shouldn't even think about getting them this semester. I listened, but it went in one ear and out the other. I was too lazy to care. Shu Tingting also found out about this on the same day, and immediately deleted Du Ziting in anger. Afterward, she dragged me and Lu Ruyan out to drink away our sorrows. I really misjudged him. I thought he was an obedient, well-behaved puppy, but I didn't expect him to be a player. Bah, he even almost caused you two to break up. Today's meal is on me, consider it my apology to both of you. Shu Tingting felt extremely guilty, gulping down her drink and sighing about life. Ah, you guys don't know how beautiful love at first sight is. Ah, wait, Lu Ruyan definitely knows. I asked curiously, why does she know? Shu Tingting explained, because she fell in love at first sight with you. I blinked in confusion. Shu Tingting laughed, Lu Ruyan, you actually never told G Boda about this? At this moment, Shu Tingting slapped the table in high spirits, her sorrow swept away. Back when school first started, you, G Boda, stood on the podium as the student representative and immediately won over so many fans, including our sister Lu Ruyan. So she quietly created opportunities to meet you. Her clever scheme was like that of a deeply calculating old fox, but she didn't expect you to pursue her first. She was so happy that she washed all the clothes in our dorm that night. I have to say, I feel